All right, welcome to another deep dive. You ready to explore something new today?
Always.
Today, we're diving into the world of virtual assistants, VAs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and we're going to figure out how people are making real money in this, booming field. Our guide for this journey is this article, How to Make Money as a Virtual Assistant in 15 Ways.
15 ways. Wow.
Yeah, so if you're even a little bit curious about side hustles or career changes, or maybe you just, love the whole gig economy thing, you're in the right place. Stick with us.
I've been seeing a lot about this VA thing, popping up everywhere. What's the big deal? Why is everyone so excited about it?
Well, that's exactly what I love about this article. It really breaks it down, like the potential,
Ah,
We're not just talking about beer money here. This is about building a real business, like being your own boss. That's the dream, right?
freedom, flexibility, who wouldn't want that?
Exactly. And it's not just a fantasy. The article even talks about how some VAs, they start solo and then boom, they've got a whole company. Inspiring, right?
Definitely.
Mhm.
But 15 ways to make money, that's a lot to unpack. Where do we even start?
Okay, so to make things easier, we're going to group these services into categories, keep it organized, just like a good VA, like it.
Love it. Efficiency is key.
Absolutely. So first up, the foundation, admin, and management services. Why are these so important?
Well, think of it this way. Every business needs these services, but no one really enjoys doing them. It's all the stuff that can pile up and become a total nightmare. Emails, scheduling, data entry.
Don't even get me started on my inbox. A VA who can tackle that, that's a lifesaver.
Right. And it's not just about, tidying up. It's about strategy, too. Take email marketing, for example.
Yeah.
VAs who can craft really good emails, personalized ones, those are the ones who are in demand.
See, that's what I was hoping for. It's not just about doing the task, it's about, the brains behind it. So besides emails, what other admin gems are there?
Well, project management is a big one. Keeping projects on track, making sure everyone's communicating, that's huge for any business.
Yeah. It's like being the conductor of an orchestra, making sure everything flows smoothly. If you're someone who loves organizing and you thrive on that, this could be for you.
Exactly. And we can't forget about the numbers people.
Mhm.
Bookkeeping and financial management, essential, but not everyone's cup of tea. A VA who can handle that, pure gold.
So we've got the organizers, the project managers, and the finance wizards. But what about those who live and breathe the online world? The digital marketing and content creation gurus.
Ah, yes, that's where things get really interesting. Almost every business needs a strong online presence these days. But not everyone has the time or the skills to make it happen.
Okay, so let's break that down. When we say online presence, what does that actually mean for a VA? What are they doing?
Well, social media management is a huge part of it. Creating content, scheduling posts, engaging with followers, basically being the voice of a brand online.
It's like being a social media influencer, but for businesses. You got to have a knack for it, right? Capturing that brand voice and connecting with people.
Absolutely. And that goes hand in hand with content creation and blog management. VAs who can write, they can create all sorts of content, blog posts, website copy, even ebooks.
I've always thought that content creation thing sounds kind of fun. It seems perfect for someone with a creative side, a storyteller.
Totally. And then there's email marketing. Still a powerhouse for reaching customers and building relationships. A VA who can craft targeted campaigns and manage those lists, that's valuable.
So we've got our social media gurus, our content creators, and our email marketing masters. What about websites? Those are still important, right?
Absolutely. Website design and maintenance, another key service. Now, there are platforms like Wix, which are great for beginners, but for a VA who really wants to offer high-end web design, they need to know more, like WordPress.
So we're talking about more than just drag and drop, understanding claims, structure, making the website look good and work well.
Right. And don't forget about SEO, making sure the website is visible to potential customers.
Okay, I'm starting to get the big picture. It's not just about offering these separate services. It's about understanding how it all works together,
Yeah.
Creating this whole online ecosystem for a business. So we've got the admin foundation, the digital marketing power. But what about those who have more specific skills, niche stuff?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole world of specialized VA services out there. That's where things get really exciting. If you're passionate about something specific, You can use that to offer unique services.
All right, I'm hooked. Let's dive into those niche areas. What are some of these hidden gems in the VA world?
Well, before we get there, let's circle back to the admin and management stuff for a moment. We talked about the big picture, but let's get into the nitty-gritty, the essential skills that every VA needs to have in their toolbox.
Okay, let's do it. Back to the basics.
Yeah, we talked about all the cool, digital stuff, but let's not forget the core, the fundamentals of a good business. It's like building a house. You need a strong foundation before you can, start decorating and stuff.
Totally. You can't have a fancy roof if the walls are crumbling, right? So what are those essential admin and management skills that every VA needs?
Well, think about it. Every business, big or small, has a ton of stuff to do. Emails to answer, appointments to schedule, data, invoices. It never ends.
It's like that feeling of always being behind, No wonder so many businesses are turning to VAs for help. But it's not just about checking things off a list, right?
Right. A good VA doesn't just do tasks. They understand the whole system. They're masters of organization, efficiency, making sure everything runs smoothly.
So it's about being proactive, thinking ahead, and making those everyday tasks easier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And communication is huge, too. Clear, professional, whether it's emails or keeping clients updated.
Right, because even if a VA is working remotely, they're still representing the business in a way, right?
Absolutely. And that brings us to project management. This is bigger than just, doing tasks. It's about overseeing entire projects.
So setting goals, timelines, budgets, making sure everyone's on the same page, that sounds like a lot. But how does a VA become that, project management guru?
Well, it takes a certain kind of person, right? Someone who organizes, pays attention to details, but also can think ahead, anticipate problems. And leadership skills are important, too, being able to motivate people.
So it's about managing people, too, not just tasks.
Right. It's a challenging but rewarding niche, for sure. And speaking of rewarding, let's not forget bookkeeping and financial management.
Oh, yeah, not the most glamorous stuff, but every business needs it.
Right. A VA who can handle invoicing, expenses, all that. It's a lifesaver for a lot of business owners.
It's like having your own personal CFO, but it takes a certain kind of person to be good at that, right?
Definitely. Attention to detail is key. You're dealing with numbers. You have to be accurate. And you need a good understanding of accounting, comfortable with software, spreadsheets, all that.
So technical skills and a very specific mindset. It's not just about crunching numbers. It's about understanding what they mean for the business.
Exactly. And don't forget, discretion is important too. You're handling sensitive information, so trust is a big factor.
Okay, so we've covered the essentials, the admin and management foundation. Now I'm really excited to get to those niche VA services. Remember those?
Oh, yeah, this is where things get fun. This is where a VA can really shine, use their passions and expertise.
Okay, let's do it. What are some of those specialized services that might not be on everyone's radar?
Well, have you ever thought about online course creation? The online learning world is booming, right?
Yeah, it's huge. So many people sharing their knowledge through online courses.
And creating a course is a lot of work. That's where a VA can come in. They can help with everything from designing the course to creating the content, even managing the students.
It's like being a virtual teacher.
Oh,
And you mentioned travel planning earlier. That one really caught my attention.
yes, the virtual travel agent. Perfect example of turning a passion into a business.
Probably. I can see someone who loves to travel, who's organized, great at research, being amazing at that.
It's not just booking flights and hotels anymore. It's about creating those unique experiences, finding hidden gems and tailoring trips to people's interests and budgets.
It's like being a travel concierge. Okay, so online course creation, travel planning, what else is there?
Well, how about podcast management? Podcasts are everywhere these days, right?
True. And I know from experience it's a lot of work behind the scenes. Editing audio, scheduling guests, all that.
Exactly. And a VA who can handle all of that can be a lifesaver for a busy podcaster.
It's like being the producer, making sure everything runs smoothly so the host can focus on the show.
Right. You need audio editing skills, of course, but also organization, attention to detail, knowing how to use podcasting platforms.
So technical skills, a bit of creativity, and a love for podcasts. And it shows how the VA world is always evolving, right? Keeping up with new trends.
Definitely. And speaking of technology, another area that's in demand is technical support.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Businesses rely on technology more than ever, so they need help when things go wrong.
Right. Troubleshooting computer issues, setting up software, managing security. It's a lot.
It's like having your own IT department on call.
Exactly. But you need the skills for it, Understanding hardware and software, being good at problem solving.
And patience, probably a lot of patience. Explaining technical stuff to people who aren't tech savvy can be tough.
Oh, yeah, communication is key in that role. And you have to stay up to date, too. Technology changes so fast.
Okay, so online course creation, travel planning, podcast management, tech support. It's amazing how many different types of VA services there are. Seems like there's something for everyone.
That's the beauty of it,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And as the industry grows, we'll probably see even more specialized niches popping up.
So for our listener who's thinking, okay, this sounds great, I want to do this, what's the next step? How do they actually get started?
Well, first, I think it's about really figuring out what they love and what they're good at. Their passions and skills. What kind of businesses do they want to work with?
Finding that perfect match, right? But that's just the beginning. What else do they need to think about?
Well, once you know what services you're offering, you got to think about the business side of things. Are you a sole proprietor, an LLC? What are the legal and financial things you need to know?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to talk to an accountant or a lawyer early on, just to make sure everything's set up correctly.
Definitely. And then you got to create your brand.
Yeah.
Build your online presence. This is where you show off your personality, your expertise, what makes you special.
It's like building your virtual storefront, right? The place where potential clients come to check you out. But how do you stand out? There are so many VAs out there.
Marketing. You need a plan, a strategy, figure out who your ideal clients are, create great content, use social media to build your brand.
So it's not enough to just have a website. You got to be strategic. Provide value, connect with people.
Exactly. And then there's pricing. This can be tricky for new VAs, figuring out how much to charge.
It's about finding that balance, right? Researching what others are charging, factoring in your experience, offering different packages.
Right, and your prices can change as you gain experience and build your reputation. It's not set in stone.
So it's a learning process, adapting and refining your business as you go.
Exactly. And that brings us to mindset, the mental game. Building a VA business takes more than just skills. You need resilience, self-motivation.
That inner drive, right? The ability to stay focused and get things done, even when you're working from home by yourself.
Exactly. And communication skills are crucial. You're working with clients remotely, so being able to communicate clearly and professionally, that builds trust.
Even though you're behind the scenes, you're still representing their business, right?
Absolutely. And you got to be good at problem solving, too. Things don't always go smoothly. You got to think on your feet, find solutions.
Be resourceful, right? Like that MacGyver type, figuring things out on the fly.
Exactly. And organization, time management, essential. You're juggling clients, projects, deadlines.
It's like conducting an orchestra, keeping everything in sync. But there's more to it than just the practical stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. You need the right attitude. Positivity, willingness to go the extra mile, genuinely wanting to help your clients succeed.
It's about being a partner, a support system, helping them achieve their goals.
Exactly. And finding joy in the work, too.
Yeah.
When you love what you do, it shows.
So it's more than just checking boxes. It's about having the right mindset, that entrepreneurial spirit.
Absolutely. It's a journey. But for those who embrace it, it can be really rewarding.
Well said. Okay, so we've explored the services, the skills, the mindset. But now the big question, how do you find those first few clients? How do you get the ball rolling?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's one we're going to tackle in the next part of our deep dive. We'll talk strategies, platforms, the whole 9 yards.
So if you're ready to learn how to make those VA dreams a reality, stick with us. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been, laying the groundwork for becoming a VA, all the skills, the niches, that entrepreneurial mindset. But now the big question, how do you actually find clients? How do you get your VA business off the ground?
Yeah, that's the hurdle, right? It's where a lot of people freeze up. They've got the skills, they're excited, and then it's like, wait, now what?
Total fear of putting yourself out there, right? Like, what if nobody wants my services? But you can't let that stop you. You have to take action.
Absolutely. You got to have a plan, a strategy. And it's not just about, spamming your resume everywhere. It's about being smart,
Yeah.
figuring out who your ideal client is.
So let's break it down. Where should a brand new VA start looking for clients?
Well, your network is a great place to start. Friends, family, people you've worked with before. You never know who might need a VA or know someone who does.
It's amazing how often those connections, those warm leads, they turn into paying clients. People trust recommendations from people they know.
Word of mouth is powerful. And don't forget about online networking too. Facebook groups, LinkedIn, all those communities for VAs and entrepreneurs Get involved there.
It's about building relationships, right? Putting yourself out there, showing what you know.
Exactly. And you absolutely need a website, a professional one. It's like your virtual business card, shows what you offer, what makes you different.
But it's not enough to just have a website, right? It needs to be, like, findable. Didn't we talk about SEO?
Oh, yeah, SEO is crucial. Making sure people can actually find your website when they're searching for VA services. And content marketing, too. Blog posts, articles, anything that shows your expertise.
So it's about becoming a resource, an expert in your niche, right? People are more likely to hire someone they see as knowledgeable.
Exactly. And then there are, the more direct approaches like job boards, freelance platforms, those websites that connect VAs with clients.
Those are great, especially when you're just starting out building your portfolio. But you have to be strategic, right? Focus on the platforms that make sense for you, where your ideal clients are hanging out.
Right. And sometimes you have to be proactive, reach out to potential clients directly, find businesses that might need your services, and send them a personalized email or, a message on LinkedIn.
So it's not just waiting for the clients to find you, it's going after them, making that connection. But what should you say in those messages? How do you stand out?
Personalization is key. Don't just send a generic message. Do your research. Show them you understand their business, their needs.
So prove you're not just spamming them, you're actually interested in helping them.
Right. And let your personality shine through, too. People want to work with someone they like, someone they trust.
So it's professional, but also authentic, right? Being yourself, but also putting your best foot forward.
Exactly. And don't give up after one message. Follow up. Nurture those relationships. Stay on their radar.
Because sometimes it takes a few tries, right? Persistence pays off.
Absolutely. And once you start getting clients, those testimonials, those referrals, that's gold.
Right. Happy clients are your best advertisement. It shows you're legit, you deliver results.
Exactly. And you have to think about what makes you different. Why should someone choose you over all the other VAs out there?
It's like, what's your superpower? What's your unique selling point?
Right. Is it your niche, your personality, how you communicate with clients? Whatever it is, own it. Make sure people know that's what you're all about.
To become the go-to person for that specific thing. Love it.
And never stop learning. The VA world is always changing, so you have to keep up. Take courses, learn new skills, stay on top of trends.
Be a lifelong learner. Always improving, always bringing more value to your clients.
Couldn't have said it better myself. At the end of the day, being a successful VA, it's not just about finding clients and doing tasks. It's about building relationships, going above and beyond.
Being that trusted partner, that go-to person who helps businesses thrive.
Exactly. So, to our listener, I hope this deep dive is giving you some valuable insights. But more importantly, I hope it's inspired you.
The VA world is full of opportunities. It's all about taking that leap, putting in the work, and never stopping learning.
It takes dedication and passion, for sure. But for the right person, it can be an amazing journey.
So if you're feeling that entrepreneurial spirit, if you're ready to take control of your career, go for it.
Explore the possibilities, connect with other VAs, and start building your dream VA business.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of virtual assistants. Keep learning, keep growing, and until next time, keep chasing those entrepreneurial dreams.